All right. Welcome, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be starting a new it's going to be a new series of videos, pretty much. I'm going to start with the Tennessee Titans. We're going to be discussing their draft class. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to kind of break down a little bit about each team's NFL draft class. And we're going to start with the first overall pick and the team who had the first overall pick with the Tennessee Titans. As you can see, I got some highlights playing in the background of Cam Ward. He was the first overall pick by the Tennessee Titans out of Miami University, and it's been a bit of an up and down. I'm going to give each player kind of a grade depending on how utilized they've been for the team. And Cam Ward, I mean, he's kind of been a C plus player. I mean, he was the best pick for them at quarterback in the first round, but they just have not surrounded him with the talent to help him, I feel like. I don't think he's been the best quarterback to optimize what this team is. Like, he's not a talent riser, what it looks like. But they haven't really helped him in Tennessee neither. I mean, his best wide receiver this year was supposed to be Calvin Ridley, who got an extension, I believe, this last offseason, and he struggled as well. The best receiving option for this team, I believe, has been Jameer DK and Eric Iomanner, who I believe is also a rookie from this draft class. But I'm probably just going to start off here and give Cam Ward a C+, as I think there is room for him to improve. But I also think that the Tennessee Titans have a lot of room to help him. But we're going to move on to the next player, which was their second round pick. But we'll move on to the next one. I'm going to give Cam Ward a C+. Moving on to the next pick for the Tennessee Titans, it is outside edge rusher. Forgive me if I pronounce this name wrong. I'm going to just pronounce him like how I guess fans pronounce him. It's Femi Oladejo. He is a linebacker who came out of UCLA, and he being a second round pick, he was expected to come in and put a lot of help for the defense in the edge rush. Sadly, this draft pick has kind of been bad for him, as he only has played, I believe, 6 games this season. He's only played 6 games. He's only had a total of 13 tackles and 8 assisted tackles. He's not really been productive when he's played, but he has also been injured and on the IR for most of the season. So, I mean, I guess you can give him a little bit of leeway there. But for me personally, this is going to end up being a D on the grade, just because he's played 6 games and really hasn't done a lot. I don't want to give him an F because obviously it's only been 1 year. So unless he's been god awful, he's just been hurt most of the season. So I don't really think he's had the time to really get into the system and everything. But I would give this a D and just hope maybe next year he can stay healthy and prove everybody wrong. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Alrighty, guys, we're going to be talking about the third round pick now for the Tennessee Titans, Kevin Winston Jr. He is a safety, I believe, out of Penn State. Let me make sure 1,000%. Yes, it was Penn State. I saw some stuff online about Jackson State. He could have played college there. I don't really watch a lot of college football like I used to, so I don't know for sure. But this is another guy who's on the IR for the Tennessee Titans. He had a few good games. He's only started about 10 games, but he's had some really good games, especially there was this game against Seattle where he really did well, and then there was the game against Jacksonville where they got blown out. But he's been a pretty solid contributor, especially for a third-round pick. I think he does have a future as a defensive stalwart. Like, it's a great safety for the Tennessee Titans if he can continue to develop. Depending on the pick, and I know there's injuries, but I'm going to give this grade a B-, just because he got hurt and he had a few games where he wasn't that good. But he is a rookie, so like I said, all these players are rookies, so I'm giving him a little bit of leeway with development time and all that, as well as the fact that this team was coached by Brian Callahan. I'm going to give him a B-. I think this was a pretty decent, solid pick, and I think he can stay on this team and be a great defender for the future to come. And with that, we're just going to move on to the next one because this guy was pretty simple and pretty easy. All right, we're going to be moving on to the next player, and this is the 4th round pick, Jameer DK. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but this is the wide receiver that they selected in the 4th round. out of Florida. He has been actually a pretty solid contributor for a bad team. He's been great all around as he does play in the slot. They've seen him play on the outside a little bit. He's been more of a return man for this team, but he's done pretty good for a guy who's only supposed to be a return man. Has almost 400 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. But he's been more of the return guys you've seen. I think he has a punt return, and he might have. I think he has 2 punt returns. He's been great on punt returns. He almost has, I think, 2,000 total yards on the season, scrimmage yards, as a 4th-round pick rookie. That's counting return yards and everything, but he's been pretty solid and especially contributed. He's definitely been a great pickup as a special teamer. Maybe they'll use him more as a wide receiver going forward. I know Alec Eilmanor, who will be coming up in a minute here, he's been more of the wide receiver one, I guess you could say, when he's healthy for this team. But Shamir DK has definitely been a guy who can contribute, and he, I think, deserves to get a good grade here, especially as a 4th-round pick. I'm going to give the Tennessee Titans on this one a pick for a grade, an A, because this is an elite selection, especially considering he has been so good in the return game. And yeah, he's been all right at the wide receiver spot, but he's been amazing in the return game, so I think I'd give this an A for the selection. All right, we're on to the next 4th-round pick for the Tennessee Titans, and it is tight end Gunnar Helm out of Texas. He's actually been pretty solid as well as a contributor. He's for a guy who's in the 4th round, they've used him quite a lot, and Ward seemed to enjoy throwing in the football, especially for the draft round and how I think they're going to use him, especially in the future. I think I'll give this pick around a B, like a positive B, because I think he could be the tight end of the future for the Tennessee Titans. I just think he was a good all-around option. He reminds me a lot of like a better Jason Witten. Well, that's a bit of like high praise, but I mean, like, if he can develop, that's what I got him as. All right, we're going to move on to the next selection, what will more than likely be the final draft pick we'll discuss for the Tennessee Titans, because the next 2 draft picks after this selection were just bench pieces. The 2 players have been, or actually there were 3. One of them was cornerback Marcus Harris. He's been a bench cornerback, if not on the IR. The other one's an offensive lineman named Justin Slater, bench offensive lineman. And then the last pick of their draft was Khalil Mullins, who has been a bench running back. But this is the last pick, and it's their 4th-round pick. It's Alec Eilmanor, who has pretty much been their wide receiver 1 on the season. He has, I think, around 486 yards. Let me make sure on that. He has 465 yards, my bad. And he has 4 touchdown grabs as well. He's pretty much been the number 1 target on this team. He has, I believe, 75 targets with only 38 catches. So Cam Ward likes throwing him the ball. I think he's got wide receiver 2 or slot receiver written all over him if he played for a better team. But given the round and the production, I think I'll give this draft grade a B, B plus. I think he's their wide receiver 1 right now, and he probably will be their wide receiver 1 next year. But that's pretty much it. I'd just like to say, if you liked me breaking down and grading these drafts, just try to give me a like and subscribe below if you liked the video. And hey, if you even disliked the video, just give me a comment down low and let me know what I need to improve. I mean, I'm not against criticism at all, so just let me know. But as always, see you guys again, and y'all have a great rest of y'all's week.